What's up? What's up? All right, we got audio coming to you live from Dinosaur Caves Park here in Shell Beach, California. See if I can give you a quick view around here real quick. Brought out the solar generator and the Wi-Fi and everything. So we are in action, just like we're in the regular good old office. So I've got a important message for you today. One that's definitely helped dictate what's going on here. And I apologize. I've been outside. It's cold. I've got wind in my face, so it looks like my eyes are a little bloodshot here. We're going to go ahead and run it, though. So today's subject is motion creates clarity. And this little phrase alone, when you start to live by it, can really do amazing things for you. So to get my mind gathered a little bit, I was working today. I picked up a gig outdoors part-time to help support all this mission, and I'm working right down on the beach on the pier. I mean, I couldn't have picked a different place in all of the United States of America that I wanted to spend my time if I have to trade my hours for dollars to support this mission at the moment. But it was an odd one because a dead body floated up today right by the pier. Man, you feel terrible. Who knows the family, what's going on there, and I've got nothing but sadness and best wishes for everybody there. Here, let's give you a little bit better view in the background too. A better view. But like anything, I'm just grateful every day, grateful to wake up, grateful for my vision, for my mobility, my family, my friends, and the fact that I made it out here, even though things have been far more uncomfortable and challenging than I expected. I was ready for this. So today's subject, motion creates clarity. That's what a lot of this is about. I've got this huge box of tools, of skills, huge tool set of skills now. And I've kind of come to the point where I think it's ridiculous to try to beg somebody else to sell my hours for dollars so I can use just little bits and pieces of what I've got to a level that's nowhere close to what I'm capable of. So I still don't know exactly how this is all going to look in 6 months or a year, 5 or 10, but I know that I'm a storyteller and a video producer by trade and by aptitude. I've got 20 years experience, and I'm not comfortable in front of the camera, but I'm throwing that out. I don't care. This is what I'm doing. And so motion creates clarity. I picked a date. I picked a time. I took off. I said, this is where I'm going to go. I landed in a completely different place with a completely different climate, and everything's not totally gelling yet, but I'm doing stuff constantly. I've got freelance work that's potential to pay me real money and that could support all this on its own. So I'm killing myself on that content. The whole short form video thing is crazy to me coming from a documentary background and news and corporate video, but I'm getting it dialed in. Being in front of the camera live, boy, this feels uncomfortable, but you know what? I don't care. I'm going to keep on doing it. And the thing is, everything's starting to make just a little more sense and a little more sense. And I've been at this for 6 months. Yesterday was the anniversary since I drove out. And on one hand, I feel like I'm not as far along as I would want to be. On the other hand, I feel like I'm light years beyond what I could have even imagined. So I think that that's good, that I have this desire to continue to progress and grow and strive and formulate this and turn it into something real that is going to become my livelihood and allow me to bring positive energy and influence into the world. But there's no formula. There's no instruction manual for the book of Mike G. There's nobody else out there who is me, who's got the same experience as me, who's got the same perspective, who can tell stories the same way and does all this stuff. So since I don't know exactly what it is I'm doing completely, but I've got a pretty darn good idea and I know what I'm great with at the most part, I've got 70% of what I need here. And the other 30% I'm going to figure out no matter how long it takes me, how many times I screw up, how many videos I put days, weeks, months, or even years into that get no views, and then videos that I've got nothing into and don't care about that take off. We're just going to keep moving. And I think the important part of this message is this applies to everybody. Anytime that you feel stuck, whether it's stuck in life, it's just stuck in a moment, maybe you've got something you want to do, but you don't know how to do it, or, maybe you're just totally lost. You have to get moving. I had to get moving. So I want to be real careful not to preach at you guys and tell you, how things need to be, because I'm still figuring this out along the way. And I just want to share this journey and have you watch what I'm able to do now that I've broken my mind free of thinking I have to rely on others to tell me what to do, trading my hours for dollars. And I'm just killing off that scarcity mindset, going full force at everything. I don't care. I am either going to make this career as a content creator and my break free from the matrix that forces me to do what they say, when and how they say. I'm either going to make it, or I'm just going to work my ass to death and die trying. And, I don't watch TV. I don't watch the news. I don't play video games. All I do is work out, work on my YouTube, and work on my freelance. And this will all pay off. So your life may be completely different than mine. I think what I'm doing is crazy. Most people would think this is crazy. And you're probably pretty sane for thinking I'm crazy. But that's okay, because I would think that I'm crazy if I tried to live a normal, sane life, knowing how much I can do if I don't try to force myself within that framework that I no longer, I realize that I don't fit into. I never did. It's funny. I mean, whether it's grade school, high school, college, sitting quietly in the classroom, filling in little bubbles, having machines tell me if I'm smart or not. To me, it just seems crazy, because I've always had some of the best problem solving. When we had to do those little tests that told us what our aptitudes were when I was younger, my scientific reasoning and problem solving were off the chart. That's not really what a career puts me into. Career working for somebody else says, hey, you do the same thing over and over again, put the same rivet in the same hole, push the same button on the same computer, fill out the same TPS report. And it's really hard to start thinking any different. My most successful friends all have, I don't even know if any of them graduated high school. None of them went to college. One of them went to welding school, so he calls it welding college. And then I have a lot of, my whole family's got 4-year degrees for multiple generations on both sides. And there's plenty of people who are successful, in engineering, in the medical field, but they can't touch what my buddies have done with 9th grade educations, who had the drive and willingness to figure out how things worked on their own. And for these guys, I promise nothing was, hey, here's what's perfect. Here's how everything's going to work. It was, I'm going to get started. I'm going to figure it out. When things don't work, I'm going to keep figuring it out. And that's what I'm in the middle of right now. Motion creates clarity. I don't have everything, but I'm a whole lot further along. When I look at my content from 9 or 10 months ago versus now, when I'm looking back on this in 30 or 40 years, I'm going to be stoked. If there was an 8-year-old version of me watching what I've been doing over the last 6 months, yeah, it's been uncomfortable as hell. I'm working outside in the cold. It's unseasonably cold. It's raining. Hell, it's even snowing out here in places, but it's the price I have to pay. I have to get away from the comfort of having cheap rent, easy access to everything, and the ability to just coast by comfortably without ever thriving or moving forward. And Wichita, Kansas, where I come from, is a wonderful place at doing that, at making people feel comfortable enough that they don't ever end up striving to achieve what they're capable of. So, I had to just get moving. I'm so proud I did. I'm uncomfortable every day. Every day I do wish that I could take a break. But I also know that the cost and the risk of that break, of going back home, of going 1,300 miles away from where I begin to create all this, and right at the end of when I've gotten through all of the cold weather and nastiness, and it can't stick around much longer no matter what. It literally can't. Or if it does, it can't stay. Sorry, I'm snorting on camera, Mom. It happens. It's cold out. And I really hope that as you watch me, as you follow along on my journey, that you see sometimes you don't have to have everything lined out. You don't have to have all the answers, because if you just start moving, whether it's 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months, or 3 years, you're going to be in a whole lot different place than if you sat around worrying, oh, what if I don't make it? What if I can't afford this? What if this? What if that? I got to have everything right. I mean, when I look at the entrepreneurs, they're the most successful that I look to try to help find some direction and help quantify and clarify some of this more. They're all the same way. They're like, just go at it. Just get moving. Figure it out. Break things, blow things up, mess things up. Well, blow things up. Elon Musk's jet. I'm not advocating that anybody do any damage anywhere that I have. But you got to just move. I had to just get moving. And now I'm here doing live videos. You know, it used to take me all day just to set up my camera equipment and my lights and everything to record a video. I wasn't comfortable in front of the camera. I'd spend all this time editing. Nobody watched it. It sucked. Maybe nobody will watch this and it'll suck, but at least it's not taking so much damn time. I grabbed my stuff. I threw it down over here. I'm talking to you for 15 minutes. I'm going to get back on my way and go make some more money working for my client. You know, with 3-4 different projects and ways to make money today. So, you know, I still feel like I'm doing something wrong at times because this is so different from everything I've been told my whole life that I'm supposed to do. And that's not just by my family and the educators in my family, but that's by society as a whole. You know, I mean, I played the game exactly how I was supposed to. Go to high school, go to college, get a job, develop skills, open a business. I did, and the business even, I mean, it took off. It was thriving. Some really bad things happened that were totally out of our power. And thank goodness I didn't get locked into that life because it's not where I wanted to be. I would have had a lot of money and I probably would have been drinking way harder than when I quit 6 or 7 months ago. You know, I go to bed happy and fulfilled every night. I know that I'm pursuing my dreams and my passions, and every single day I'm making steps towards getting wherever the heck I'm going. And it's been a long time since I felt that way. You know, with my last business, I put everything into it for close to a decade from the time I began building it to the time I realized I needed to walk away. And that was painful, man. That left a pretty bad taste in my mouth, you know? So I shrugged my shoulders, said, forget about all this. I'm heading to a ski town. I'm just going to go do whatever it takes to survive out there and live a good life, and stretch that out for a couple years longer than I should have too, because yeah, you want to be able to create an equitable income, have financial security in life. You also want to have a life that you really appreciate and want to live every single day. But if you've only got one or the other, there's still a pretty big deficit. And I'm trying to figure out how to plug the two together. And, you know, I'm really grateful that out of all of this hard work that I've put into this, out of all the discomfort, out of all of the hundreds, probably at this point, we're closing in on thousands of hours just on this pursuit in the last year. And there's just a few sentences that have come out of this that I can quantify and say, these are my beliefs in life, and this is my pursuit now. Freedom is the number one goal. It took me almost a year to get to this point, 6 months of craziness and discomfort just to be able to say that my pursuit, my purpose is freedom. It's not a mortgage. It's not a 401k. It's not kids. It's freedom. Right now, it is freedom. And in Maslow's hierarchy of needs, I don't want to worry about any of those other things until I have escaped the matrix, until I'm self-sustainable, until my content and the things I'm doing for myself are generating income in a manner that doesn't make me have to sell my hours for dollars, either as an employee or as a contractor, to escape and break free. That is the number one thing. One of the most important things to get to that point is that money is a tool. Yes, money can give you objects. Those objects, for me, would hold me back. They're not going to move me forward towards freedom, towards my ultimate goal, towards the thing I want more than anything else, to be able to dictate the direction of my life, to be able to create content that I deem valuable and important to me and things that could influence the world, not how to fry French fries or wash your hand like I used to do for a butt ton of money and brought no value into the world. So I might have gotten off track a little bit there, but my big message today is, you know, for me and for you, I think, you know, if there's something else out there that you want for yourself more than what you've got right now, if you're trying to get past a moment where you don't really know what's next, I'm trying to get the right view here. If you just feel deeply that there's something more and different for you than the direction that you're locked into with payments, bills, debts, jobs, etc., then you don't have to solve the problem to get started. And if you're trying to get to step 150, there's 149 steps before you get to where you want to go. And me, even now, I can tell the moment that I'm making enough money off of my content to not need to rely on anybody else, I'm probably just going to be like, oh, all right, there it's done. Yeah, this is my life's dream and mission and goal. I finally figured out all right, there we go. On to the next goal, on to the next mission. Got to keep moving. because I think, out of all this discomfort that I've sought, I've really found that I have a lot of purpose and value that I can offer myself in the world. But I got to keep moving, and I can't say, okay, well, now I've made it. Now I can get comfortable. Comfort kills some of the most amazing things that we can do for ourselves and for others. So I'm going to keep on seeking out that discomfort. I'm going to keep putting myself out here. I suck at thumbnails, nails, and titles. I'm trying to get people to click on these amazing stories that once they actually click on them, they watch them, and I retain them higher than most videos, but I can't get them there. And I put myself on the pictures and titles in funny ways. And, I put stuff out there that makes my family uncomfortable, I think, because, if I was a first grader and we were in church, we sure wouldn't want our good little son to show any emotions or have teary eyes or show any weakness. But, I'm to the point now where I have to overcome all fears. I can't get the content that I love the most out in front of people and achieve my mission and my goals if I don't get in front of this camera and start talking with you guys and develop this relationship and help give my thoughts to those people that are really interested in all this stuff. So, sometimes I'm probably going to look a little bit embarrassing or awkward on camera, and I'm good with that. I know all my family and friends love me to death, and I can't imagine doing anything that would embarrass them too much. But if you see me, doing something that makes you uncomfortable because it doesn't fit into the normal framework of the 9 to 5 that everybody's familiar with in my background, that's probably a good thing. If it makes you uncomfortable, there's a very good chance that I'm doing something right. So the message to my family and friends, I love all you guys to death. And I know you all support me, even if this seems like the oddest, craziest thing coming from the perspectives of our time or even your previous time. But right now, I see a very, every single day, week, month, or year that I spend trading my hours for dollars to someone else, even in a professional job using my degree, I'm going to get less and less buying power back out of that money. I'm going to get less and less return on investment. My life's already half over. If I'm lucky, I've got another 41 years left in me. And most of my whole life has been spent pursuing goals and outcomes that were provided to me, and I didn't even have the opportunity to try to conceive things outside of that. And that's why my friends with the least education are the most successful, because they didn't get smashed as the square peg going through the round hole. They just didn't get banged through that same thought process for decade after decade after decade after being kids. And those of us with college degrees, unless you go in with the right mindset in the first place, you're just getting smashed into a one-size-fits-all. I definitely was. And I'm glad that I have a degree. I'm glad I had the college experience. I don't think I had there was no better option. I didn't know what I was doing then. It's taken 20 years plus after college for me to start to really find my voice, figure out who I am, and how I can use all my skills and capabilities and passion to have a positive impact on the world and do something really good and build an equitable life for myself. I could spend another 10 years going for more master's degrees and PhDs and all this stuff and end up in the completely wrong direction. And then, another 10 or 20 years later, if I'm healthy and live a long life, then I'll be old and dead, and I'll probably be poor until the end at this point, because I would have had to stay with my career field from the minute I got out of college and continue that the whole time, being worried if the rug could get pulled out from under my feet, I could lose everything because I don't have anybody else to feed me now. And that's part of this freedom. I've got an amazing father. I don't need another daddy. I don't need anybody else to be telling me what to do or how to do it. I learned from my family. I'm proud of what they've taught me. I don't need anybody else to tell me what to do, where to be, or how to do it. I'm going to figure that out on my own. And I guarantee this is going somewhere. When I'm looking back on this in the future, little things like this are going to be amazing. I've never believed in myself more. I've never been more willing to go through more discomfort, and I've been very, very, very hard-headed. When it came to my business, I rode that thing out for a year or two longer than I should have. When it came to my marriage, I rode that out for a year or two longer than I should have. When it came to living in the mountain town that I'd built a whole life in, I rode that out for a year or two longer than I should have. But those were all the wrong things. And this is the only thing that's right that's ever fully made sense to me. So it might not make sense to anybody else, but everything's making just a little bit more sense every single day. And every day, I'm not 1% closer to my goal. I'm 1/10 of 1% closer to my goal. But at the same time, there will be a night somewhere where I go to sleep and I wake up and things have completely changed. But it might take years to get to that point. And all along the way, I'll be steadily growing, steadily building my following, steadily crafting my message, being able to provide more value to the world. And I'm also steadily going to be going to the gym every day, steadily consuming healthy, nutritious food, and steadily not putting alcohol into my body, in this beautiful temple that I've created and made strong and beautiful and healthy and awesome. So, you know what? I plan to be out here at sundown. I faced away from the sun on purpose so you get good lighting on my face. I'm really happy with the way this the lighting's come through here, and I'm going to do some more of these outside. But right now, I'm getting cold. My nose is starting to run, and I've got a lot more goals to accomplish tonight. So, guys, I know I've got one follower here that's been along the whole time, whoever that may be. I greatly appreciate it. Anybody else that checks in on this later, the fact that you chose to take the time to listen to my message and follow along on my journey means the world to me. So thank you. Make sure if you haven't liked and subscribed yet, do so, and check out the adventure videos. This whole channel, it's not about me talking like this. This is about the adventure videos. Check out my adventure videos playlist. I promise it'll be worth your time. Catch you next time.